There we go.
What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back, and it is another eSpark Xfinity stream live tonight from Auto Club. In the booth is going to be the one and only K Harvick fan, 429. You probably recognize him from all these fast family community races that have been going on here lately. Been spending a lot of time in a lot of different booths with me in Atlanta and a few other guys. Man, Harvick, I'm glad that you and Frydog and a few others kind of reached out and asked me to come back. It's definitely been a little while since we were together. Auto Club Speedway
Yes.
tonight got almost 30 cars, getting really, really close to that cutoff chase next week at Richmond. The points up top are really really close with Doc Hudson and Evil within, but from about 14th through 18th, I think what did you say earlier is like 20 points. What are you expecting from tonight, sir?
Well, so for tonight, something that's a little bit different from what I know since you've been here, Pete. Of course, last race me and you did for eSpark together with Daytona. We've done a couple since then, and the showdown, like you mentioned. So of course for that race they did stages and no cautions. Well, we're gonna go back to something that we started with at the beginning of the season. That longer time viewers might remember if you're newer. At the beginning of the season, we did cautions with no stages. Uh, we're gonna try that out tonight and see how it goes. Personally, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I wouldn't be too shocked if we have quite a few cautions just based on some things I've seen from practice. But I'm hoping they'll prove me wrong because this is a fun race. This track's so wide. You could pull off six wide here if you really wanted to. I won't. I don't expect to see six wide. At least not done without wrecking. But for tonight. But it'll be fun. Tire wear is a big deal here. We'll get to that in a little bit. But about 14 laps of fuel here, so there's going to be a little give and take there. Obviously, this is custom setup, so guys can set their cars up to gear and save fuel or run harder. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the amount of laps and the fuel and all that. Well, 75 laps is going to make up the race tonight here again at Auto Club Speedway. Very very fast, very big draft track. I mean, you're really hauling the mail going down into turn one and again at turn three. You see some of the guys come off really, really loose. They end up pointing the wrong direction towards that inside wall once they get worn out a little bit. But it's going to be a lot of phenomenal racing. I have to see who's going to be able to hold their line. If they got somebody on the inside or somebody coming, on the side coming off a two, which as old Darrell Waltrip used to call certain corners at certain tracks, calamity corner. Well, I tell you what, I think turn two. Coming off that wide sweeping 1 and 2 is really going to be an issue for those that may have just been, might have got the setup just not quite right. So we'll have to see. I know that the boys are in the middle of qualifying right now. It shouldn't be long before we get that ever important invite. I know Dohar as well as quite a few other big time eSpark drivers will be on track tonight. Rainey and of course Doc Hudson. I think I heard you say something about Evil Within is not racing tonight, but that's gonna prove helpful to some other guys. Rock, thank you very much for the bits, sir. Good to see you. Welcome to another stream here, buddy.
well, and guys, I'll say this too. While we're waiting, now might be a good time to go get yourself a little drink like I have right here. As well, because this is going to be a fun race, a lot of pack racing. These guys are going to be running really, really close together tonight. Bumper to bumper. Like I mentioned, six wide is possible. You're not going to see it, but I saw three and four wide in practice pretty well often. I saw ones in practice last night that these guys were running three by three at laps uh, for I don't know 3 4 laps at a time, three by three, almost all the way through the field. So uh, it's going to be a lot of lanes being used. That's one thing I like about this place compared to Michigan. Michigan, it seems like the inside, maybe like middle, as high as probably the 2.5 lanes up. is the lanes you can use here. You can use anywhere from the inside lane to the outside, right up against the outside wall, and you see racing basically in every lane. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get the guys that come off the corner, allow their car to wash all the way up towards the wall. Of course, coming off of 3 and 4, and just let it really eat down the straightaway. Then you have those guys, kind of like me, come off 4, and you let the car drift down to the apron. Keep it penned down. It's definitely the fastest way around. Sometimes it's the best way to break the draft as well. And then, of course, you got to pull back up towards that wall again, and set up your entry into back into turns 1 and 2. And we're going to see that for about 75 times tonight. And that's again, barring there aren't a bunch of cautions. I know, when eSpark first started, it was just a caution fest. But these groups of guys, under the different managements, have done a phenomenal job of getting the drivers under control, getting the roster under control, getting all the right people in all the right places. And man, it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Indeed, and I'll point out too, these guys are going to be under a lot of pressure tonight, especially if you're probably about 15th on back in points, because we are one after this race. We have one race left before the playoffs, that being Richmond Raceway. So you now need to start to get in panic mode if you're under that cut line. Now, I will throw this stat out there for you, and I think I know Pete, you were talking about the points, but 15th through 23rd, 21 point difference. Now we don't run stages, so that's a little bit more of a gap than what it sounds like back to 23rd. But top 16 make the playoffs. Right now, it's a 1 point difference on that cutoff, so it's really really close around there. This is going to be fun, and people are going to be under a ton of pressure to try to get maximum points.
Yep, Toasted Gamers right now sitting in P16, and Scott Hall for life sitting in P17, separated by that coveted one single point. Then you got Ford Tough, 3 back, and what is that? Yeti, 868, 5 back. Judge Blas, if I'm saying that correctly, he's 11 back. Mudslinger, 13 back. Just Cause, he's 14 back. Wub, he was in a booth the other night for the Fast Family race, and he's 17 back. So any of those guys from 17th all the way down to 23rd could actually point their way into the top 16 tonight if it all plays their way.
Indeed. Now we'll point out a couple of those guys that you mentioned right there, and I'll go ahead and throw this out there. There's a couple guys that when this race starts, will have to serve a penalty fairly early. Those being the 90 of Wub Network, but we know him as Eddie. But he will have to serve a pass through on the at the beginning of the race. Doc Hudson, I know he's not down there. He's up higher in the points. He will also have to serve a pass through. And Air Just Cause is not racing tonight. He is serving a penalty. He will not be in the car tonight. So, two of those guys are going to be big points hits, especially for the 20 car, who's just 14 back. That's going to hurt bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're talking about the extreme competition that's here in eSpark, it's it's a big task. It's a tall task to try to make up those points. I think that's really why the points are the way they are, how tight they are. I talked about 17th through 23rd just a moment ago, going up from 16th through about 9th. 16th, again, I mentioned Toasted Gamers. Ahead of him, you got Marcus. He's 4 points to the good. Chrome Capone, he's sitting about even. Sebi, Bro Dozer, OK Sideways, Ace Sniper, and Mick Winning. They're like 1 point to the good up to 19 points to the good. Above McWinning, you got Honorary Hades. He could fall out if something happened. I mean, so much can happen when the points are this tight. And as you said, next week, Richmond International Raceway, the one of the tracks that the real NASCAR drivers love to go to. It's a driver's track. It's a mostly flat track with a little bit of banking. A big, just a D shape oval. A lot of fun to race at, going back to the days of the old rock and roll 400 and whatnot. So, looking forward to tonight's race. Looking forward to the way that it all pans out. I'll definitely be paying a lot of attention to the points as they continue to change, and looking for the points updates to um, to the overall page when it's all said and done. See who's going to be moving on. See who's going to be moving up.
All right, now hang on. If you can keep filling, I'm gonna very quickly look into something real quick and see where we are on the start of the race. So I will be back in a second.
All right, sounds good. I definitely want to thank everybody that's out there right now for keeping an eye on this eSpark Xfinity race. We're going to be live from Auto Club Motor Speedway, a big 2-mile track with about 75 laps. Going to make the full distance. No stages tonight. They're going to go back to the way that it used to be earlier in the season. So you're going to see 75 laps out flat, all kinds of lines, all kinds of draft. People trying to pull the slingshots and the trying to side draft, pull others either to their outside or their inside back. That there's only I learned something today that there's actually only 2 Fords in the entire field. Everybody else Toyota and Chevrolet. So if you're a Ford guy, you only got a couple choices to choose from. But if you're a Chevy or a Toyota guy, yeah, you definitely got you got plenty of people to follow. Anybody that's out there, who y'all pulling for tonight? Are you pulling for a Doc Hudson, or are you pulling for a Dohar or a Trippy Tricks, a Sniper or Sebi? I mean, who y'all got? What's going on, Kool-Aid? How are you, sir? Looks like T Glass Cop is pulling for sideways. He rocks that number 21 Ford, one of the Fords that are out there.
All right, Pete. So we had a little incident. They forgot to send us game invites, so I'm gonna send you one now.
That's awesome.
So you can join this,
All right,
and then I'm gonna see where we stand on the lap count.
sounds good. Gotta love it, right?
Uh,
I knew they were taking too long to qualify. Yeah, they're on lap
I was
13
like,
of
let me.
75 already. Wow, 13 of 75.
Sorry,
Well, guys,
guys.
the out there in chat, the stream just got a just got a little bit shorter for you. Won't have to endure it all. But all right, we're getting loaded in here, and we're gonna 61, a little bit of lag right there. We're gonna try to work our way up to the top, see if we can't find out who is where, and work our way through the field. Kool-Aid saying he's going with old Rainey. Let's actually see what we got here.
Well, and I'll say this: Rainey won the truck race in Michigan. That this place is kind of similar, not exactly, but it's kind of similar to Michigan. He won the truck race in Michigan a couple weeks ago. Also, he was in contention to win the Xfinity race we ran at Michigan earlier this season. Up until very late, got caught up in a wreck within, I think it was either on the last lap or 2 laps ago. He was up in about third, fourth place and racing for the lead. They were like 3 wide. Went on the back, got caught up in a wreck. So Rainey is definitely a solid pick.
Yeah, Rainey is one of the guys that's been following a lot of the Fast Family League streams, and been had a chance to talk to him, and of course Fry Dog and several others. Here is that 60 of Asylum. Just trying to work my way up to the lead. Here we are. Looks like it's going to be the 74 of Bro. Hold on, I just had it. Bro Dozer, there you go. So Dozer got the lead out pretty quick. Again, not 100% sure if he's had the lead the entire time, but definitely he's got that thing in the wind. He's got a whole pack of hungry cars right behind him, and I don't anticipate there just being one leader all night long. Only about 14 laps give or take on the fuel. So Harvick, I think we might have come in right at a good time. Either they've just finished pitting, or they're going to have to pit here pretty soon.
Well, and I believe from what I was hearing in the party, because I didn't really even notice they finished, but I heard them talking on the party about green flag. I'm like, whoa, 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 wait, whoa, green flag. So that's why I went to go check on it. But I do think they already might have had maybe one caution. So that might be a little bit better on fuel. I'll see if I can get a little bit of info on the party and see where we stand on that respect. But no, these guys, I think, depending on when the caution was, they've already obviously been down pit road. I believe that was under caution. So depending on where that caution fell, I don't know where the fuel window lands right now. I can tell you that the start of this race, it was about a 3 or 4 stop race coming in to start it, just based on where your fuel sits. So we'll have to see. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out where we stand though.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to continue to work my way through the field. Pretty good packs all the way around. Definitely seem like there's different packs. You got a lead pack that consists of about 8 or 9 cars. Then you've got this pack right here with Toasted Gamers that consists of about another 7 cars or so. A little bit of contact between the 07 and the guy that was just right in front of him. I missed the name, but that's going to make the 07 lose a whole ton of time. He's going to fall into the clutches of this third pack, yeah, that almost relegated him to last. So he's going to be a little bit upset. But if he was in that pack, he should be able to work his way back up again. But he's definitely going to have to do a little bit of mix of draft, maybe some pit road aggressiveness, we'll say, and yeah, just some overall luck, maybe a caution. We'll have to see. Continue to work through the field. Is the 51 of Thought Crane, 926. He's up here in this lead pack. Got the 94 and the 4, kind of wrapping him up. Looks like 36 and.
All right, guys. So I have a lap count.
Okay.
We're on lap 19. About 4 laps left on the fuel tank. So pit stop is looming very near in the distance. Actually, we should be on 20, and I think I just heard the guys that I'm in the party with, one of them say they just switched to 3. So yeah, probably about a lap or 2 away from pit stop starting to happen.
All right, so there you go. Straight from Harvick fan that's been in touch with Race Control. I would say since it started, but yeah, not so much.
I've been in touch with them. They just weren't in touch with me, but it happened.
There you go. Yeah. Now, getting these things up, getting them started, it takes some time. Normally, if you've caught me with any of the NNR streams or the Fast Family streams or any others that I've done, I usually got somebody that I can pull laps and all that off of. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody streaming tonight, so Harvick's keeping in touch with Dohar and a few others in team comms to keep up with things as they progress.
Indeed, we should be coming to, I believe, lap 21 or 22 when the leader gets back around to the line. I know you see guys on pit road. I saw, I think, 1 or 2 go down, not completely sure.
Yep, I'm on board right now with the 9 of Just Blast 580. Heading down pit road. Looks like he was able to woe it up in time. No speeding penalty for the 9, or at least I would think. Just passing on by the 4 car. He's pit road as well. Got another one ahead of the 9. Some contact, 18 hard on the outside wall off the rear end of somebody else. Not sure if that was a little bit of lag, but he's got a car behind him as well. If the caution comes out, which I don't think it will, because the cars were off the track. Nope, caution is out.
Caution is out.
Yep.
And that's going to... Oh! Wait a minute. Actually, I don't know. I see somebody down pit road, though.
Yeah, no, disregard. These guys are up to full song. So the caution is not out, but there are a ton of cars on pit road. Now, if they all heard about that wreck on the backstretch, you know for sure that they probably dove onto pit road as soon as they thought the caution might fly to get in, grab those 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, fill it up with Sunoco E15 racing fuel, and try to get back out on track as quickly as possible. But because the cars spun in the infield, they were off track. No issue there. The game kept the guys racing, and we're still green here, Arvin.
Yeah, and it's gonna hurt for those guys that were caught up in that. Of course, we are also in the midst of green flag pit stop, so it might not necessarily hurt them as badly as it could have, but they're still gonna hurt, especially actually I don't even know if we have damage on tonight, guys. Believe it or not, the rules have been kind of working around a little bit, kind of depending on what track we go to and how practices have been going during the week. But I'm gonna assume damage is on.
Yeah, damage definitely on. I'm looking at the rear end of this 8 Junior Motorsports Xfinity machine, and he's got a ton of damage to that right rear. That's again the 8 of Horatio Kane. Yeah, Logan, yellows are on. They're trying something a little different. 3 times wear, no stages, so we're going to be hopefully green all the way, and so with cautions on, manual cautions are out the window. But yeah, we're no stages, so all one big race tonight. 75 laps of Auto Club Motor Speedway. Me and old Harvick fan back together again here for eSpark Xfinity.
Indeed. Now I'll be interested. I'll try to get this info here, but I think once these pit stops start cycling around. But I'll say this: I think the guys that short pitted early, or I won't say short pitted because pit window was open, but pitted early. I think I saw the 9 down a little bit earlier. Those guys could potentially have tried maybe to pit a little bit early. I don't know if that was built into the strategy or not, but to gain time, tire wear is a big deal here. So if you can get out for a lap on some fresher tires while some other guys are still out there on old ones or coming in the pit, you can gain a little bit of time that way. So we'll have to see. I don't know if that was necessarily working everyone's strategy or not. It's hard to tell, especially being we got in a little late. But right now, I will say I am really very confident. I think right now, the way I'm looking at this field, it's pretty well spread out for the most part. There's a few packs here and there that are 5, 6, 7 cars strong, but for the most part, everybody's pretty well spread out, and I like this because it means we're going to get some more green flag racing in.
Oh yeah, I mean the packs that we had earlier, there were 3 definitely very distinct packs. You had a pack of 8 or 9 up front. You had about another 10 or 11 in the middle, and a bigger pack a little bit further back. But now all very much spread out. You got a few cars here and there, racing around each other. But for the most part, yeah, they're doing everything that they can to be where their car handles the best. Again, these guys are under full setups. There's no presets in eSpark in either the Truck, Xfinity, or Cup series, and yeah, they dig every single week. Here is, I think somebody was talking about, it might have been you earlier, talking about the 61 of NCAR Racing. We saw him go sliding through the grass earlier. Looks like really no issues with this 61 Toyota. Looks pretty clean. All the hood pins right where they need to be as we're looking at the hood view. So NCAR looking pretty good so far.
All right, so I got a little position update. Pit stops kind of cycled through. Coming back to what should be lap 28 right here, closing in on I want to say 40 to go. I believe I heard 47. Okay, so 47 laps to go, somewhere in that area. In the race, these guys probably got about another 9, 10 laps to go, still on fuel. But your leader is Brodozer, Asylum's is second, Captain third. I believe I heard. Actually, I don't know. I don't exactly know who was fourth. Fifth was I didn't know fifth was Eat Dirt 94. At least that's what his gamer tag was the other day. He tends to change his gamer tag a lot.
I was going to say, I don't remember it Eat Dirt on the roster. But okay.
It's Oreo. I know him as Oreo, but
okay, fair enough.
Gamer tag a lot.
All right. Well, I'm riding on board right now with that 60 of Asylums. He's got the 13 right behind him. Again, the 13 car is Gixon, if if I'm looking at that right. Um, so if the 60 is in second place trying to run down first, uh, he's definitely got a little bit of room to make up unless first place just happens to be the 9 of Just Blaze. I don't remember who you said was in first
Brodozer.
place a moment ago. Who was it?
Brodozer.
Brodozer. Okay. So yeah, Brodozer is definitely a bit further in front of this uh, 60 with Silence. Let's see if we can't find it right now. All right, so Brodozer just went by the start stripe. He's heading into turn 1 and 2. And if you look behind him, a couple cars back, there is that 60 of Asylum. So he's not too far back, but he's not exactly where he needs to be unless he thinks of it as the glass is half full and he's got some draft help. That might help him get up to Brodozer, but other than that, Brodozer has a pretty healthy lead right now.
Indeed, and by the way, I believe the other car, and I'm not completely sure. I'll try to get it in a few laps. I don't want to bug the guys too much because in order to get the info, I got to type in the party chat, and sometimes that can cause frame rate, so I don't want to impair their race too much. But I think the other car that was in fourth might have been Big John. But no, by the way, those of you guys that have been here a while, have been watching, Silem's last time you saw him on the racetrack, he was in the 11 car. Well, since then, he has gotten an opportunity. Obviously, I'm not going to go into too much detail on why this happened, but he was given the opportunity to go drive for Roush Fenway Racing in the NASCAR Heat Pro League. Beginning of last week, came home fifth in his first Pro League race at Daytona. So not a bad run, but that's why you see him. He's in the 60 for Xfinity, uh, trying to stay as tightly allianced and connected with that team and series and all those things as he can. So that's why you see the number change. He's in the 60 instead of the 11. Like
Yeah, 60 with the that reddish orange paint scheme with the NASCAR Heat logos all the way around. So just block out that 0 and slap a couple Oscar Myers stickers on that thing, and he's got himself a pretty good replica. So definitely big congratulations to Asylums for being picked up into the pro league. It's only about half. What is it? 3/4 of the season, I believe, is gone. So he's got some time to get in, see how the pro league works. He's got some great friends that race in and around eSpark that can kind of help him with setups. Dohar, you got Brooks, you got a few others. So Slade, Fluffy. I mean, there's so many that can be I'm sure be willing to reach out and give this guy a hand if he needed it. But he's pretty quick on these setups as well.
Indeed, he is. He's done very well in eSpark up to this point. Some of that can translate over. So yeah, he's making pretty good work of it. I think so far top 5, not a bad way to kick off your first race. But coming back here, we should be nearing pit stops probably, if I had to estimate, get about 14 on fuel. We're probably about, I don't know, 8. No, actually, I'm hearing might be some guys on pit road right now.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some people indicating that they're going to be taking it down pit road. Of course, that international signal going down pit road is dropping either the tire down below the white line on the backstretch, or at least just the left sides. And yep, many cars on pit road right now. Ooh, I think that was the 8. Kind of hard into the inside wall, trying to get it woed up. Maybe a little bit too much brake in that machine, and yeah, he stepped on the brakes and the car just turned left on him. So no good for him.
Indeed, that's gonna hurt. And once again, we saw that happen earlier today. So it looks like a lot of guys struggling maybe with pit entries today. We saw a wreck on the last one as well. So.
All right, so it actually wasn't the 8, because here is the 8 right now of JRM Dohar driving that Hellman's machine for Dale Jr. This was a car that was just added into the game here. I believe it was just yesterday when the DLC came in. Logan's asking where Trippy is. Let's see if we can't find old Trippy right now. There he is. Trippy's looks like he's exited pit road on the apron, trying to get up through the gears, keep it off the track, keep it on the apron, keep it off the grass in a very, very narrow pathway. He's got some help to come off of pit road with, merge onto the backstretch, and yeah, looking pretty good. I just ran some laps at this track to see how many laps tonight's race was going to be, and I just told Harvick fan, I was like, man, I really like this 68 car, and of course, what do you know? Logan, you wanted to know where he was? Well, here he is, and man, I'm kind of loving that paint scheme.
It is a nice looking paint scheme. I had to agree with you. You know what else is nice, Pete? Too, I'd have to say, the sound of 30 cars rolling around a racetrack. What do you say we do a little filter time, crank it up?
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and grab on to one of our guys here. How about old Sebi? As he's coming through 1 and 2 right now, heading down the backstretch. Go ahead, guys. Crank it up. All right, let's bring it on back. Sticking around here with NCAR Racing. Yeah, Logan, thank you very much for that correction. There are two 8 cars out there. One that we ended up with Dohar and Horatio. So yeah, definitely. Okay, man, I appreciate the help. But we're gonna keep on working our way through the field. Here's 92 and that 60 again of Asylums. Asylum's back with some help trying to catch up to Bro Dozer. Another round of green flag pit stops in the books. Can you get a count here, Arvik?
Well, so right now we're sitting at about, let's see, when I asked it was about 35, so about 34, 33 to go now. Some guys are going to have to make it on 2 more stops. If you pit at lap 28, I'll put it this way, 14 laps on fuel. If you can get to lap 28, or 28 to go, I guess is the correct way to say that, but 28 to go and then 14 to go will be your number. However, I brought up at the beginning of the race, some guys were going to be able to save. So, of course, you probably know one of those that I'm in the party with that seems to be pretty good at saving, which is Mr. J.R.M. Dohar. I'm talking to him. It sounds like some guys are probably going to have to make 2 stops. Others are going to have to make 1. So this could get really shaken up here as we come probably about 31 to go. It's going to get really shaken up. I do like, though, that we're getting this green flag run. Indeed, the 74 is still out front. But I'm looking like where Asylums is, and he's got a big pack of cars around him. I don't know if these are all lead lap or lap down, but big pack. So a lot of these guys have found themselves in a bit of a packed up situation once again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to guess that Asylums is running P2, Brodozer's still P1, off the last bit of information that we had. And while the 74 and the 18 continue to kind of mix it up just a little bit. The 18's not following in behind, not really giving the 74 any kind of a push or anything like that. Like you said, Asylum's back there. He's got a pretty decent pack, mostly lined up. If they really get together, they could catch up to these two. And if they do it in the right place, then they might be able to blow right on by him too.
Indeed, and I'll say it also. See, it's going to be hard to tell because now I don't exactly know where everybody's strategy lies. I'm going to make a prediction that Dohar is going to be one of those cars saving. I don't know who else though, but it's going to be hard to tell because you're going to see this front running order shake up. In addition, you see Asylum, working in this pack right now, trying to see if he can catch up to your leader. But there's also going to be the question of, are these guys on the same strategy? Who behind you is on the same strategy? That's got to be crossing these guys' minds a little bit as we wind down here. Under 30 to go now. So
Under 30 to
crunch
go
time's closing.
already. What's that?
It's closing in on crunch time. About 28 to go is when you can open the window to make it on 2 stops. But obviously some guys are going to be trying to shoot for 1.
Yeah, if you get to 28, 27, 26, give or take, and you can go 14 laps on a tank of gas, you're really talking about just one single pit stop. And you really only got to worry about that one stop. You get in, you get it down. You maximize the amount of brake that you're using before you get to pit road. Lay off the brake as long as you can without taking too much of a risk of getting that black flag once you get to the line. And yeah, here comes. Speaking of which, here comes the 36. He's taking it down pit road right now, and it looks to be only about the second person to do so. So we must be right at that 28, 27 mark. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more guys diving down pit road here very shortly.
Indeed, and I'll say this: I was talking about the fuel window by default is 14. Some guys can probably go upwards of 16 to 17 if they save right. So that window is definitely open to be able to pit. And still have one more pit stop from here. The one thing though that I'm gonna question about this, if you're trying to make a 2-stop or a 1-stop strategy here, is there's guys on 2 stops where there's gonna be a portion of this race. Well, while you're out there on the older tires trying to split the runs up best you can and trying to save, there's gonna be guys out there that aren't worried about saving, and they're not gonna have to save their fuel or their tires. So they're going to be able to go as hard as they possibly can while they're out on the racetrack. And tire wear meaning so much here in forms of lap time and handling, all those things. It's going to be a big question as to what's actually going to come out on top. Will it be saving and trying to cut out a pit stop and time on pit road? Or will it be trying to cut out the tires and, or I guess, have the tire grip and the speed on the tires? We'll see. A lot of guys on pit road now.
Oh yeah, sitting on pit road right now, caught up with Scott Hall for life. He's got one car that was outside. It's going to be interesting to see who the game pits first. Good thing the 38 stall was further past the zeros. Otherwise, it could have been pretty. Could have been pretty bad for that 38. Might have actually got spun around if he had tried to get into his pit right there. But yeah, like you said, more and more people breaking at the last point, trying to maximize their speed, getting onto pit road. Others still out there. I don't think I've seen the 8 of Dohar as of yet, so he might be trying. We'll have to see. Word Burton, good to see you out there, sir. Thank you very much for the follow, sir. And yeah, I just kind of lost my train of thought. Why not? But yeah, we're talking about pit stops, talking about speed, talking about getting in and getting off, and these guys are doing everything that they possibly can.
26 laps to go, 25 somewhere around there. They're trying to get the official on that, by the way. But I will say this. I don't know, and I might have just not paid enough attention, but I'm not so sure that the 60 didn't speed. It looked like he was in pit road a little bit longer than normal. So maybe he sped. He might not head, but I just kind of 15 seconds felt like 30 to me. It's possible, but I don't know. It looked like he was in his pit still a little bit longer than you normally would be. I'm hearing about 26 to go right now. 25. That's kind of where we set. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see who all has to save and all those things.
Yeah, well, I mean, if everybody was able to go with just one more pit, wow, look at the big move by the 13 to dive it down underneath the double O and whichever car you just knocked up the track.
I believe that was
Big
Rainey.
power move by that guy. Let's see, underneath the one now 13 was I just had him up there.
Pretty sure it's Legend. I believe that's Legend Johnson. He's subbing for Glixon.
I tell you what, that guy is out here looking like his tires don't matter. I mean, he is just, it seems like he's just flat flooring it all the way around, just getting underneath people, really kind of holding it for the most part. He's passed 3 or 4 cars in just in just 2 laps. There we go. I'll get it out one of these days.
Hey, it's all good. But no, I'll be interested to see, and I'm gonna see if I can get an update on this right now, as far as where everybody's running and where people exactly sit on their strategies. But no, this is gonna be fun to watch, and especially when we're closing on a 20 to go.
All right, well, if you're
And
going to
I'm
grab a
also
lap count, can you also grab at least the top 3? I'm going to guess that
yes,
Brodozer is still up front with Asylums not too far behind, but it would be great to know for sure.
I'll get that.
All right. As Harvard fan goes on down, checks in with race control to see exactly where we're at on laps, and, at least the top 3. I'll get that for you here in just a second, Logan. Looks like Asylum's back in a pretty big pack right now, and if Brodozer is still up front, he's got a pretty good piece because the 18 was with Brodozer earlier, and now not so much. 18, a little bit of damage to the front end of that Toyota. He's got the 92, and then Asylum's right there. That entire bottom line training along with another pack of 3 right behind him. So you got 6 cars here, all in a line and taking care of business. Go ahead, Harvick. What you got?
All right. So as it stands right now, there's some guys definitely trying some interesting strategies right now. K. Rainey is in the lead. Brodozer is in second, and Big John is up in third. So I do believe the 60 did indeed speed on pit road because he fell back a little bit, I believe, from where he was. So, in saying that, we're about 20 laps to go. When Rainey told me, he said it was coming to 21, so I'm going to say 20 now. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. If
Well,
they've
I
been
tell
able
you
to
what,
save this much, they
the
might be good on one stop.
the 4, K. Rainey, he's actually just now exiting pit road. While you were talking right there, he was sitting in his pit. So he can't go the entire distance from here on out. If they're only getting about 14 laps on a tank of fuel, yeah, the tires, depending on what they've got for a setup, they should be able to handle it. But fuel, not so much.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. Some of these guys really put time and effort into their fuel gears. I would say maybe 16, 17, but these guys are really feeling like trying to throw a gamble out there and they know what they've got in their car. I'm not going to throw it out of the question to save about 19 or 20 on, or save up to 19 or 20 on fuel, which would put you about saving 5 or 6 laps. It's not impossible, but it's definitely hard to do. You got to really commit to that strategy. We'll have to see what happens, though. It's going to be very, very interesting to watch and see how these play out. I do think, though, at the end of the day, I think the 2-stop strategy might end up being what plays out here in the end. We'll have to wait to see.
I don't know if some people pit on lap 27 and they can go 14 laps without having to worry about that 3 gear or only putting it into fourth for fuel. Man, I I don't know. That's that thing that's completely different with eSpark versus what I'm used to calling, I should say, with on the in the preset world and NNR. But yeah, I didn't even the concept of gearing didn't even play a factor in my mind. So yeah, they might be able to do a little bit better than that 14.
Indeed, they can definitely. There's a lot of different ways that they tried. They tried to stop it this year by kind of locking the fourth gear up a little bit, but it didn't work. These guys are really smart. They were able to kind of figure out how to work their way around it, still get their setups to where they can use that fourth gear or another gear to save some fuel, and they're going to try to take advantage of that right here.
Wasn't there a change in Heat 5 to where there were only so many gears that they can actually pick? I didn't think it had as many gearing options as Heat 4 did.
Well, I believe what they did, and I'd have to. I don't personally mess with custom setups a whole lot. I know a little bit about them, but it's not my strong suit. That's why I'm up here in the booth, not out on the racetrack. But um, these guys, they tried to lock the gear. I believe they locked the fourth gear, maybe one or two options. I think they locked the fourth gear to somewhere around a 1.0 ratio or something like that. If you guys out there in the chat kind of know how your stuff works, I might be a little bit wrong on that. But yeah, they did try to lock some of the gears. I think they might have changed the rear end ratios a little bit. But these guys, once again, the rest of the other three gears, I do know they can change pretty freely. So they can kind of work those other three gears around to where they can still work it and to save fuel. And by the way, 16 laps to go is what I'm hearing over the driver radio.
All right, so 16 to go, which means for those guys that pit early, right around lap 28, they should be coming on down here very, very soon. Get set up for that final stint, that final fuel run, and really try to lay it out all on the line. Definitely seen some people running by themselves, maybe one or two cars somewhat near them. Others not so much. They've got a pretty decent little cluster around them. As you see, the 10 car signaling now that he's going to be pitting this time by. He's got about 7 or 8 cars in, around, and in back of him. So, I'm sorry, in front and in back of him. Obviously, not going to be in him, but we're gonna be yeah. They've only got one driver's seat in these things. They don't need any more. Sometimes people have a hard enough time driving by themselves.
Indeed, and we've seen that a couple times in this race. Some guys, I'll say this too, and this could be where this race also gets interesting. Is during these pit stops, those guys have had some trouble getting on pit road. I've seen 2 or 3 incidents of people getting in trouble by themselves, or maybe taking 1 or 2 other cars out with them, going down pit road and getting slowed down. And it's not what you want to do, especially in this portion of the race where it's late. You don't really have much time to gain that back. But yeah, it does happen. The cautions haven't come out for it either. So.
Well, Chase Sears out there saying locked fourth gear at a 1 flat. So just like you said, Harvick. Yeah, 1.0, and that's at most tracks. So anybody out there that's fiddling with their setups, trying different gears. Little bit of help there. Thanks, Chase. That's idyllic fungus, isn't it? Chase
yes,
Sears.
sir.
Yeah. Hey, how about that? I remember. Let's see here.
So some guys on pit road. I see Captain is on pit road. And I'm hearing that Big John got a speeding penalty. That's gonna hurt.
Big John.
I'm gonna see if I can get an official update. But.
All right. Well, guys, we're in the. For those that just tuned in, we are in the last fuel run for these guys. No stages tonight. 75 laps all out. We missed about the first 12 laps or so. We did hear that there was 1 caution shortly after the game or after the race started, but since then they've been all green, all clean, and really no big issues. Some people getting a little loose, no real big contact, just a couple minor racing incidents. but pretty good race overall for Auto Club. Not too bad.
All right, so as it stands right now, coming to 10 laps to go, and your leader right now is 21 of what should be okay sideways.
All right, let's see if we can find him. I was actually on him just a little bit ago. So okay sideways. Okay sideways, hoping to stay straight rather than sideways. Does not want any kind of issues. Gonna try to finish the race where he's at. Probably pulled a little bit of strategy, I would think, anyway. Unless he just
Indeed.
nope, he's actually in the pit road. He's actually
Oh,
in the pit
well.
right now.
So we'll see how that's going to work out. I think he might be one of those guys. Either he saved fuel or he was on a two-stopper. So for this round of pit stops, so I'm going to guess the two-stop strategy for him. This is we're still kind of in the middle of this because this when you get later in the race right here, and you got guys trying to save fuel on one stop. You got guys that pitted at different times. They're going to be able to stretch it a little bit further than some others that are even on their same strategy. So this round of pit stops is going to take a little bit longer, but we are under 10 to go, so it's getting down to crunch time now. Especially if you're on that one stop. And that's going to be the other thing to pay attention to is, do these guys that are trying to make it on one stop have enough fuel?
Well, that kind of goes back to their gearing, like what you mentioned earlier. If I know that these guys they spend a bit of time tweaking and working on these cars, and with Heat 5, you've got that practice lobby to where you can go in. You don't have to worry about the AI messing with you. You can work on your setup until you're happy with it. But then I've also heard some people say that irregardless of what you do during those practice lobbies, once you go live, you're either up to 3/10 slower or up to 3/10 faster, and that could throw off your fuel. That could throw off your tire wear. I would imagine it could throw off a few things, but these guys are no stranger to having to adjust on their cars once they get them out on track.
Indeed. Hang on, I'm trying to get an update. I can tell you as of right now, your leader is K. Rainey, second is Big John, and I didn't quite hear who was third, but Big John got that penalty. It doesn't seem to affect him too much. So.
Well, K. Rainey's on pit road right now. He just pulled in and stopped. Let's see, from the amount of time that he's spending
8 laps
here.
to go.
Okay, 8 laps to go. With the amount of time that he's spending on pit road, I'm going to guess he is taking 4 and filling it up. That was definitely longer than a 3 for fuel only, or 7 for right sides and fuel. That was I would imagine that was a full 4 tire and just enough fuel to get it to the end for these last 8 laps.
I would say so, and I will say, yeah, definitely would say 4, because even though if you can make the tires last to the end of the run, it's definitely not really a big option unless you're pitting with like maybe 2 to go or something, where you would be wanting to take 2 tires just because it means so much and it would affect the handling of your car drastically on just 2.
Silent Killer, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you, man. Definitely haven't talked to you for a while. Hope all's well. Keeping out of that COVID crap, I hope. But still working our way through the field. Silent, you're missing a whole lot here, man. I'll reach out to you tomorrow. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here with Heat 5 and actually a tournament that's been going on for about a week and a half, where just about every league that races on Heat 4 and Heat 5 are racing against each other. It's been a great time. Go back, take a look at my page. You'll see some examples. Or take a look at Atlanta racing. He's another one that's been broadcasting and streaming quite a bit as well. You'll like what you see, man. But back to this, Harvin.
Yes, sir. So as it stands right now, and I'm going to double check, I believe I just heard 5 to go over my other earbuds, or I guess my earbuds, and then also Big John is now out front. Excuse me, sorry. Here who's second, and then I can tell you Eat Dirt is in third. Eat Dirt 94,
All right, so
which is Oreo for those of you. The guy that changes the gamer tags all the time.
All right, so Big John up here in this 92 machine, looking pretty good. Kind of, I'm gonna guess with how smooth he's
Guys,
what?
there's a caution. I think there is definitely wrecking.
Well, Big John looks like he's still under full throttle. So, uh, nope, yeah, no, Big John, he's still hard in the gas. So, don't think caution is out as of yet. And if this 92 is your leader, he's got a little bit of a gap to the car that's right behind him. Again, unfortunately, without the tools being fixed yet. Harvick, can't wait till we get those. And
Indeed.
unfortunately, I don't have anybody that I was able to keep an eye on tonight. So if Big John is actually still your leader or where P2 is, um, you know this could be it. But we got to be under 5 laps to go. I believe you said it was 5 before, so I'm going to guess it's right around 4 now.
I think I'm getting that right now, but should be. I think I heard either 2 or 3 to go, and I'm getting the top 3 again.
All right,
Coming to the
appreciate that.
white.
So this is coming to the white flag, huh?
White flag is out.
All right, so
I,
if
I
92
believe
is your
should be
leader, he
Big
just got
John.
underneath the 13. That would have put the 13 a lap down. So good job by the 13 to allow the
Oh,
leader
2 to
to
go. I got
two to
wrong
go.
call.
Okay, okay, all right. So still great job by the 13 to allow the leader of the 92 to just let him go on by. No sense in holding him up. If that bright orange car right behind him is in P2, definitely don't want to impede that. Although it a would have been nice to see a couple guys fight it out for the win. So this would be 1 to go right here. Still Big John in
Presented
that
by
92.
Filter Time.
Yep, presented by Filter Time. Go ahead with that.
Yes, sir. So Big John went through 1 and 2. I don't see anybody really going to be able to challenge him. I think as long as he's okay on the fuel, I'm thinking he is. I think he's going to take a nice old cruise to victory lane here and get himself a good win. Some a little bit of trouble going on further back, but yeah, for most of these guys, it's going to be, I think, be able to make it. I do see a few slow cars, so I'm thinking maybe some guys run out of fuel. I see a couple passing by, they're a little bit slower. But yeah, Big John gonna bring it home and taking Auto Club.
Yeah, so big congratulations to the 92 Big John PA. And what's funny is here, Harvick, I'm looking at the point standings to see exactly where he is, whether he's above the line or below the line or whatever. And I don't actually, I don't see.
He's a part-time guy, so he's taking one from
Ah,
the full time. He's taking one from the full timers. He's taking taking the kids' lunch money, if you will, for his own. And
coming on down in what they used to call back in the Win Cup and Bush series and whatnot, coming on down as a bushwhacker and stealing a win away from these full time drivers, which is probably going to make the points even a bit more interesting. Again, don't have a running order, so I'm not quite sure who finished second or third, but we should get a top 3 in the booth with us pretty soon. We could talk to these guys, ask them about their race, see what they thought about the first 12 laps, since we don't have a clue. and yeah, congratulations, Big John at Auto Club.
indeed, I'm gonna see. We're gonna try to get your top 3 in here. So we're gonna work on that.
Let's see.
I'm gonna
Chase
work
saying
on that.
Brodozer was P2. No surprise there since he was up front earlier. And let's see if he scrolls up here. Uh, Nope. All right, so we're gonna back out of that, bring it on back to just the Xfinity page. There we go. All right. Um,
Hang on a
take
second.
your time. You're fine. Take your time. Um, Now, guys, tonight, it's been all about these eSpark guys here at Auto Club. But on Tuesday night, I'm actually going to be back with the Fast Family Racing community, where it's going to be Shake and Bake, Frozen's Shake and Bake community versus Left Turn Loonies. That'll be the next time that you see my stream. So definitely make sure to follow along. Leave notifications on so you know when I go live. Definitely appreciate any follows and subs. It's been a great I think they ran their 13th race tonight, something like that, and it's
Should
just
be, yep.
getting better.
Indeed. Of course, I'll be calling. I don't know exactly who yet, but I'll be on it tomorrow as well, doing SXRL. So I don't exactly know who it is with yet, who will be with me. I know I'll be in the booth with somebody, though. I believe it's either at 6:30 or 7 o'clock tomorrow. I want to say 6:30 tomorrow evening. I think it got moved up a little bit due to a little bit of conflict with the schedules of the two leagues, but we're going to try to get the top three in here for you.
Yep.
But while we're waiting, by the way, top three was. Hold on a minute. I got sent into a race I don't want to be in. But top three was Big John. Oh, hold on. We're getting people. We got them.
It's just me. I'm
Oh,
trying to coach these guys on how to do this.
all right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
if
Discord's
you've
not my
got
thing.
the SXRL tomorrow, that's a 7 o'clock race. SXRL is against All Out Racing. And after them, they've got the Pure Speed Elite Series, and they're racing against the Above Average NASCAR Heat Four Friends. But tonight it was the Sprite Cup Series versus Exalta or MAGA. I guess they changed their name. But man,
Mm-hmm.
Dohar, I'm definitely looking forward to Tuesday night when you and I get to call Frozen Shake and Bake community versus those Left Turn Looney guys.
Heck yeah, I know they've been practicing in Chicago a lot. They're really excited for that. It's awesome to. That'll be my second race I'll call. The first one will be on Monday. I get to call that one with Atlanta. So I
Nice.
get to do back to back, which is nice. But I love this project, and I'm so glad that eSpark is a part of it. We might do the interviews out of order, but I'm going to bring in a P2 finisher, Brodozer.
All
All
right,
right.
Brodozer, repeat. How are you, sir?
There he
Okay.
is.
All right. Go ahead.
Brodozer, you got me.
Quit it.
Stop leaving.
He went. He went. There you go,
I'm
Brodozer. You got me
bringing you
now.
today. Where are you going? What's up,
Brodozer.
Brodozer?
Uh oh.
Oh,
Ah!
I can go. If he's able to talk in the green room, I can go over there.
yeah, let's go to the green room.
All right, Brodozer, you got me here, sir.
Yes, yes,
All
sir.
right, there we go. All right, so there was some kind of issue in the broadcast booth, so I walked next door across the hall, and here we are in the green room. Man, was following along with you a little bit earlier, and you seemed like you had a pretty good lead at the time. You had Asylum, so about a good 2 seconds behind you, and then something happened. What took you out of the lead?
Well, well, on that final run, I was trying to save just so I can make it to the end there under green. But once we got to I think about 3, 4 to go, uh, that's when I stopped saving and then just let it have it and just finished second. I thought I was going to be able to have enough there to catch Big John, but but I guess I didn't. But I'm just happy with the P2.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be absolutely happy with it as well. Coming into the race tonight, you were 9 points ahead of the cutoff line. This will be a great points night for you. There weren't any stages or stage points or anything like that tonight. It was just 75 laps all out. Only one caution very early in the race, from what I hear. But man, it seemed like you had a pretty fast hot rod, able to take it where you wanted to go. You and the 18 were seemed like you were working a little bit together until that round of green flag pit stops, and then y'all lost touch. Is that what's kind of set you back, not having that partner to work with, or was it just solely that pit stop?
Well, I think it was just a combination of both. Just not having the partner to work with, and then also just saving fuel there at the end. But I just want to. I mean, with my setup, I just want to give a shout out. I just want to give a shout out to my owner, Ward Burton. We worked on it all week. I tried to participate in all the practice sessions all week long. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I just want to give a shout out to my owner and also my two teammates, Crusher and also Eddie Kalegi. But I'm just so happy with the P2, especially with the prior weeks before Bristol and here at Auto Club. I'm just so happy with the P6 last week and P2 this week.
Well, there you go, man. It seems like you're on a roll right when it really matters. Auto Club tonight. Next week is Richmond. So you're gonna be sitting on some pretty uh, good positive points going into the last race. When we're talking about Richmond, what's kind of going through your head? Are you a short track kind of guy, or are you like, man, I'm really gonna have to practice?
I think
You
Uh
kind
oh.
of, I'm sorry, you
uh
cut out. What'd you say?
uh uh for Richmond, I'm just gonna have to practice a lot. I'm not much of a short tracker. I just love those 1.5 miles and 2 miles, but I'm gonna give it all I have for practice and just hopefully I have a good setup.
Well, with about 28 cars on track tonight, you ended up P2. You got some pretty good points in the bank. I think you're going to be pretty good. Congratulations on your runner-up, man, and good luck next week when you get to the Chase cutoff race.
Alrighty, thank you, sir.
You got it. And who was? Are we going to go to P3 or P1?
I say we go to P3 first. Eat dirt. You in here, buddy?
Yes, I am.
Man, Oreo. I know you as Oreo. You change your gamer tag all the time. It's kind of a running joke between everybody. But
Yeah.
but by the way, for everybody that was at New Hampshire, this is the legendary Marcus Hook. But no. But seriously, dude, third place finish. I know you've been really fast most of the season. Haven't had exactly the best of luck throughout the season. But how does this feel coming away with a P3? It's gonna help your point situation too.
Well, first of all, I'm currently not even at my own house racing. I actually came down to North Carolina, and I'm racing at a very good friend's house called Sebi 12RN. I want to get a shout out for him to let me come over and let me race at his house, and still be able to do this race when I'm out of town. But by the way, thanks Bojango Racing Toyota Supra. This '94 Sunoco Marcus Hook car, it was off the chain. Uh, we worked all week. I tried my hardest after work to get this setup dialed in, help out my team. Um, ran pretty good. Had a great long run car. Just just try not to make. I try to limit my mistakes this week. Typically make little rookie mistakes like entering pit road or speeding or wrecking on my own. So just overall good week and good momentum going into the last race of the regular season, heading into the playoffs. Really good.
Well, and looking forward to Richmond next week. Coming up with the top three here, does that help you and kind of give you a little bit of a momentum boost going into Richmond? And how do you feel about your chances there, as that is the final race before you do kick off the playoffs?
Well, very pretty good, pretty great at short track. So Richmond is one of decent track for me. Just got to work hard and hope, hope for the best next week. That's all I can do.
All right, man. Great run tonight. Bojangles Racing bringing one of their cars up in the top three. Not a bad thing, and Bojangles tastes pretty good too. So go get you some Bojangles, man. Top
I
three,
am.
top three, and great job, Oreo.
Thank you.
All right,
All right,
Pete,
and
you
I
want the winner?
guess I can, I can pick up on old Big John. John, I tell you what, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, listening all the way back to last season with Zane the Bearded One and HD Motorsports in the booth, calling you out time and time again. Man, you definitely it looked like you had a pretty fast car tonight. You got ahead of some of the guys that were running ahead of you later on in the race. What helped you catapult to the lead? Big John, you got a copy.
Uh-oh. Hold on a minute. Let me see
All
what
right.
I can do. In the meantime, though, while we're trying to get a hold of Big John here, I do want to, real quick, because I haven't gotten to this yet. We did the fifth time crank it up, but I want to shout out, hang on a minute. Let me get the Big John on my friends list. But, there we go. Okay, but, no, these, the guys at Phillips Time, Blake Cook and Dale Jr., we really do want to thank them for putting or allowing us to put their brand, their name on this league officially, being the only sponsored league on Xbox. That's a big accomplishment, and
Yes, it
that's
is.
a lot. They have a lot of faith and the guys that run this, Dohar, Fry, all those guys that put all this together, and allowing them to put their name on this, that puts a lot of trust in them, and we thank them for that. Because it's really cool to see sponsors, really embrace the league racing, and give back to them too, and yourself. Go to filtertime.com right now. Get yourself set up with with some filters. You don't have to go outside to get them. Keep your air in your home clean and safe and healthy. That helps, especially in the times we're in right now. You want your AC to be running well. Also, you don't want to have to get it repaired. That new filters, they help. These boys, it's hot. It's summertime, especially in some places. It's hotter in some places than others. Go to filtertime.com, and you don't have to go outside to get them because they deliver them right to your house. Filtertime.com is where you need to go. So once again, thank you to those guys for allowing us to put their name on the eSpark series.
Absolutely. It is a very big honor to have an actual sponsor associate himself with your league. So, yeah, it is very big.
All right, hang on a minute. I'm messaging
All right,
Big
Big
John.
John, you got a copy
Oh, there
yet,
we go.
sir?
John, leaving Quebec.
Ah!
I tried moving them channels. It didn't work.
You guys got me?
There you
There we
are.
go.
How about that?
Woohoo! I heard Pete talking. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to talk.
He's spraying the champagne. That's all good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's waiting
Ah,
that extra second for it to be perfectly chilled. Come on out in a victory lane and pop it open and celebrating your win. John, I said to Harvick during your last couple of laps, I'm looking through the points roster, seeing where you're going to be, seeing if this is going to hurt, help you, or what what was going to happen if you were on the bottom of the top 16 and whatnot. And I told him, I said, man, I don't even see this guy. He goes, nah, he's a part timer here to steal some guys' thunder, and man, you did just that.
yeah, we've had this race circled. Yeah, I heard what you were asking. What we did at the beginning of the race, we had that first caution. I was crunching numbers, and I knew I could make it if I saved the one lap and had one lap more on the cycle than they did. Or I guess, yeah, one lap more fuel on the cycle than they did. So I saved that early, so that way if it did come down to it at the end, I had all go. So I was able to pull even with Brodozer. Me and Asylums worked well together. Sucks that he got the speeding penalty. Um, but we were able to work up to Brodozer, and we were pretty much dead even come out of the pit road on the last stop. And I knew I only had to go 13 laps, and he had to go 14. So I only had to save about a quarter of a lap. So that was pretty easy to do. And shout out to Brodozer, though. He had a fast car. I knew from practice he was going to be good. And if we could get up there, he was definitely going to be the one to beat. So shout out to him and his guys on the team. They did a great job bringing a good car. But it's good to have a good running. We really just tried to do whatever we could to keep the nose clean. Had a really rough race last night at Iowa, and we did a good job to keep the car clean, and the result ended up paying off. I thought Rainey was going to make it on gas, so I was pushing hard to catch him, and then he ended up pitting. So
You know, me coming from mostly the default world, I the option of having a 3 gear setup, saving with the fourth gear, never even crossed my mind until Harvick kind of shouted out there. Um, Tell us about your car. I mean, it seemed like it was fast. You know, you mentioned that you and Asylums and a few others were able to work around each other. You caught up to Brodos. You were able to get past, get on the lead. One more lap is all it took. Was the difference in your gearing, or was it just your setup overall?
I don't think it was in the setup overall. Our car was pretty aggressive setup wise. It was really really good centered exit. So it allowed us to get really good runs off the corner. So it worked super well. You know, if you're behind somebody, you know, you're able to push them, you know, and get them a better run on exit. Or if you're in front, obviously you can pull them faster. So that helped, especially having the one lap pressure tires when we were trying to run down. But what I was doing is I was actually really weird since they have the gears locked now on heat. You know, it's locked to 100 fourth. So actually, my third gear was my save, and I was shifting from second to fourth on restarts, courtesy of the H pattern. So that it was really weird to fuel save because I'm like shifting down to go into the lower gear, which was kind of weird. But I was doing it on the straightaways at the beginning, so I was just running my pull gear, like my quick gear in the corner, and then once we get in the straightaway, the gear was strong enough where it would pull and keep up in the pack. But I'd save just enough gas to do that one extra lap.
Well, man, you definitely got it done. Saw some people with different fuel strategies. Some pit with 8 to go. Others pit with 13 or 14 to go. Man, it seems like you had your strategy on lock. It worked out for you. You pulled the win away. You're a Cup Series regular, right?
Correct.
Told y'all
Okay.
so. Thank you in my speech. I thank you in my speech.
um, with this extra time now that you've got
I
here in the
know.
Xfinity coming on down, is this going to help you in your Cup race that's yet to come?
Of course, yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
with Finn Evil,
any time on trap's going to help you
thought
out.
train, he mad at me right now.
Yeah, any
In
time
the
on the
pit
track's going to
road,
help you out. But
first pit stop, he was running up in the top five with me, but he wasn't really a top five car. He was just in the draft. So he was stuck there.
you hear that too?
Kept diving
Is
under
somebody
me.
else
I
talking?
tried
Yeah.
running the outside.
Oreo, can you mute your mic, please?
Oh, apologize.
Okay, I was just confused. You're good.
I thought it was muted already. I
Oh,
apologize.
you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, I thought I was hearing things. But anyways, yeah, I mean, anytime on the track helps. We had a really busy week. We just started getting over on the iRacing, so I'm in a truck and a cup league over there. So between practicing there and then hopping back over here, we have 6 races in the schedule this week. So hopefully we don't get burnt out before Sunday, but we're just starting to figure Pocono out for tomorrow. A little bit late, but better late than never, I guess. Going to be an interesting track. It's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be a similar strategy, layout to how it was tonight. So hopefully I can take what I learned tonight and use that in my brains for the setup tomorrow. Maybe make a couple changes to make sure that car is good to go.
Well, man, again, I know that tonight was all about just seat time and trying to steal one away from the Xfinity regulars, which you did. Congratulations on the W, and man, you did your thing again.
Yeah. Thanks, repeat. Thanks for streaming. We appreciate you coming down on Saturdays. I can't wait to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's a good stream. Although we missed like the first 13 or 14 laps because we didn't get the invite.
That's okay. It's the last ones that are important.
Right,
That's like
exactly.
it's like leading laps as long as you lead the last one, right?
That's right. That's right. That's the money
It's the only
lap.
one that matters.
Absolutely. But Harvick, you got any final words here, buddy?
Well, I want to say first, Pete, thank you for coming out. I have so much fun commentating with you. It is a lot of fun. I know we had a little hiccup, but with getting in the race, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was fun. And I'll say personally, also, I thought it was a great race here tonight. I'm really excited for Richmond next week. I think you'll see a lot of action there. These guys are going to be under maximum pressure as it's the final race, and that cutoff line should still be pretty tight. and we got a short track too, in Richmond. So, and as you mentioned, it's a driver's track. You got to brake corners. You gotta really manage yourself and stuff. Keep your car clean. So we'll we'll see what happens next weekend, next Saturday. Of course, Filter Time eSpark Cup Series heads to Pocono, like John was just talking about, working on that car. Second race of their playoffs. Check that out at 9 p.m. That'll be fun to watch as well. Be an interesting race, but yeah, I tell you what, man, I really enjoyed this. I'm glad they proved me wrong, and I'm happy.
Right.
They stayed pretty green today.
Yeah, stayed clean, stayed green. One hiccup in the beginning, but that was about it. As for me, guys, like I mentioned earlier, tomorrow night you can catch tomorrow's the second. There's going to be a doubleheader for that Fast Family Racing League. It's going to be the Pure Speed Elite Series versus the Above Average NASCAR Heat 4 Friends. They're going to kick that off right around 9 o'clock p.m. at Chicagoland. Please pay attention. There we go, to both the Facebook chats as well as Twitter to know what streamers page or streamers channel to catch that on. And just before that race at 7 o'clock p.m. at Charlotte Motor Speedway, you've got Sebi's Xbox Racing League, or the SXRL, versus All Out Racing, and Harvick will actually be one of the commentators for that race. And then on Tuesday night, again, it's going to be the Shake and Bake Frozen's League versus the Left Turn Loonies, and it's the next time you'll be able to catch anything on my channel. But until next week, when these eSpark Xfinity guys visit Richmond International Speedway, y'all have a great week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll catch up with y'all then. Y'all take care.